There is a name that can make Wall Street hold its breath and ignite fiery debates in parliaments and coffee shops around the globe. George Soros. His life is a real-life thriller, a story of survival, ambition, and controversy that could rival any Hollywood blockbuster. Let's peel back the layers of this fascinating and often polarizing figure. Our story begins in Budapest, Hungary, in 1930. Born into a world teetering on the edge of chaos, the young Soros, whose family name was originally Schwartz, was about to face the darkest chapter of the 20th century. As World War II cast its shadow over Europe, being Jewish in Nazi-occupied Hungary was a death sentence. To survive, his family made a crucial decision. They changed their name to Soros. In the constructive language of Esperanto, Soros means "will soar." It was a name filled with both desperate hope and defiant ambition. Survival became a daily masterclass in courage and quick thinking. Soros's father, Tivadar, was the architect of their escape plan. He secured fake identity papers and found different hiding places for each family member. Imagine this. As a teenager, George lived under a false name, even pretending to be the godson of a Hungarian official whose job was to confiscate property from Jewish families. Every day was a tightrope walk over an abyss. These harrowing experiences taught him a lesson he would never forget: a deep, intuitive understanding of risk, reward, and the very nature of survival itself. This wasn't just a childhood memory. It was the foundation upon which he would build his entire life. When the war ended, one tyranny was simply replaced by another. Hungary fell under the control of Soviet communism, and the vibrant city of Budapest became a gray, oppressive landscape. For a young man who craved freedom, this was unbearable. In 1947, with little more than a dream in his pocket, Soros made his escape to England. This is where his intellectual journey truly began. He enrolled at the prestigious London School of Economics and came under the influence of the philosopher Karl Popper. Popper's ideas about the open society, a society that values freedom, critical thinking, and resists authoritarian control, struck a deep chord with Soros. It wasn't just an academic theory. It became the guiding philosophy of his life. But philosophy doesn't pay the bills. After graduation, Soros found himself in a tough spot. He worked odd jobs, even as a traveling salesman selling trinkets. It was a long way from the financial titan he would become. But even then, his mind was constantly working, analyzing, and searching for an opportunity. He finally got his foot in the door at a merchant bank in London. This was his entry into the world of finance. It was here that he began to develop his radical theory of reflexivity, the idea that our perceptions and biases don't just reflect reality. They actively shape it. This wasn't just a philosophical musing. It was a powerful tool for understanding and predicting market behavior. In the 1950s, Soros set his sights on the ultimate financial arena, New York City. The city's relentless energy and towering ambitions matched his own. He started as an arbitrage trader, working hard for modest returns. But Soros was playing the long game. The turning point came in 1973 when he and Jim Rogers founded the Quantum Fund. The name itself was a hint of the groundbreaking, almost physics-defying strategies they planned to use. Soros wasn't interested in just playing the market. He wanted to understand its very fabric and, in doing so, bend it to his will. The Quantum Fund quickly became the stuff of legend. Throughout the 1980s, it delivered returns that were almost unbelievable. Soros' strategy was audacious, contrarian, and deeply psychological. He didn't follow trends. He anticipated them, betting big on market irrationality and the herd mentality of investors. But his most legendary trade, the one that would cement his place in history, was still on the horizon. Fast forward to September 16, 1992, a day forever known as Black Wednesday. At the time, the United Kingdom was part of the European exchange rate mechanism, a system meant to keep European currencies stable against each other. But Soros saw a fatal flaw. He believed the British pound was artificially overvalued and that the UK government couldn't sustain it. While others hesitated, Soros launched a financial attack of epic proportions. He borrowed billions of pounds and immediately sold them, betting that the value would plummet. The British government fought back desperately, raising interest rates and spending billions to defend the pound. But it was no use. By the end of the day, the pound had crashed and the UK was forced out of the system. Soros walked away with a profit of $1 billion. In a single day, he became known as the man who broke the Bank of England. The aftermath was explosive. In the financial world, he was a genius, a maestro who had conducted an orchestra of chaos and emerged victorious. But to many in Britain, he was a villain, a speculator who had profited from their country's misfortune. The media portrayed him as both a brilliant strategist and a ruthless predator. This single event created the two faces of George Soros that we still see today, the financial wizard and the controversial opportunist. But if you think that's the end of the story, you're mistaken. The most significant chapter of his life was just beginning. Having built a colossal fortune, Soros shifted his focus from making money to giving it away. In 1979, guided by Karl Popper's philosophy, he founded the Open Society Foundations. Its mission was breathtakingly ambitious: to promote democracy, human rights, and social justice across the globe. One of his first major acts was funding scholarships for black students in apartheid-era South Africa, a direct challenge to a brutal, oppressive regime. Over the next few decades, the Open Society Foundations grew into a global force, investing billions in everything from fighting corruption in post-Soviet countries to supporting refugees and combating climate change. This philanthropy, however, has been just as controversial as his trading. He's been hailed as a hero for supporting pro-democracy movements, but he's also been vilified by authoritarian governments in places like Russia and Hungary. They accuse him of being a foreign agent, a puppet master using his wealth to interfere in their internal affairs and stir up political unrest. This narrative has painted Soros as a shadowy, almost mythical figure, fueling a universe of conspiracy theories. To his critics, he's the ultimate Bond villain, a globalist puppet master trying to impose his will on the world. To his supporters, he's a modern-day Robin Hood, using his immense wealth to fight for the marginalized and defend the principles of a free and open society. The truth, as it often does, is likely somewhere in the complex gray area between these two extremes. In recent years, Soros has doubled down on his mission, focusing on what he sees as the biggest threats to humanity: the rise of authoritarianism, extreme inequality, and the climate crisis. In 2020, he pledged $1 billion to create a global university network dedicated to promoting critical thinking and open debate. For Soros, education is the ultimate antidote to tyranny and propaganda, a conviction born from his own life-changing encounter with philosophy. As George Soros approaches the final chapters of his life, his legacy is far from settled. He is a man of profound contradictions: the cutthroat capitalist who became a leading philanthropist, the global speculator who champions the rights of the individual. His incredible journey, from a boy hiding from Nazis in Budapest to a billionaire shaping global events, is a powerful story about resilience, intellect, and the audacity to have a vision for the world. Whether you see him as a hero or a villain, one thing is undeniable: George Soros is a figure who forces us to confront our own beliefs about money, power, and the kind of world we want to live in. His life is a reminder that history is often shaped by those who refuse to be easily defined, those who dare to challenge the status quo. And in the end, perhaps the most compelling part of his story is not just what he has done, but how he makes us question the very forces that shape our world and our perceptions of the people in it. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the lives of people who changed our world. See you next time.